Welcome to The Source with your host, Dr. C.T. Curry, and co-host Coby Owens. News all across the nation. The Source. Stay in the loop in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. Work together for change in the community. A call to action to find the resources. The Source, the latest in news.
Good evening, this is Dr. Curry.
This is Coby Owens.
And welcome to The Source. Coby, it's been a little minute that we've come together as a team.
Yes.
I've been out of town, I was even out of the country a little bit, and I'm trying to get my bearings back, but there's been some things happening in and around our city, and I really want to jump into it as soon as possible. First, I want to talk about this within the last week or week and a half. We've had some shootings.
Yes.
And it seems like there's a little uptick going on. We had 3 different incidents of shooting in our city, and if you can share what you know about it, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so the police are investigating 3 shootings that happened over last weekend, and the first was an 18-year-old woman who was shot in the 2900 block of North Jefferson Street at 6:45 p.m. I was actually in the area just a few blocks away in my district talking to someone when we heard the shots, but didn't know what direction they came in, and that was a dispute between 2 teens. She is in stable condition, and they are still investigating to try to find who was the actual shooter.
Now, you said 2 teenagers, but 2 females?
2 females.
Okay,
yes.
so these are females. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
And this has been an ongoing thing with a group of young ladies in the area who've been going back and forth, fighting, using bear mace, which is highly illegal here in the state of Delaware.
Where would they get that from?
There's a show called Baddies,
Uh-huh.
and there's a character, well, not character, but a person on the show named Suki, and she used it in a fight, and ever since then, they put the bear mace on their fist, so when they hit you in your face, it gets in your eyes and everything.
Oh my God. Well, does it irritate the skin before? Because if
That I don't know. I've never used bear mace.
Yeah.
I've been maced before. I've been pepper sprayed. I've been tear gassed, but not bear mace.
And do you think? I know that we want to move on, but do you think that maybe this we used at one point a while back, about a couple of years ago, there was an uptick of female violence on?
Yeah.
Do you think something is going on?
It's the same area, same group of girls.
Oh wow.
A few of them are now off for probation, so now they're right back to where they left off. There was another shooting of another teen, a 17-year-old male. He's in stable condition. That happened over South Bridge area, in between C Street and South Hill Streets.
Okay.
He is in stable condition. Again, that's under investigation. And then that was Saturday. And then that Sunday, another 17-year-old was hit with gunfire on 4th and DuPont Street over in the Hilltop area, 5th District.
Oh, that's where we created Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he was listed in critical condition. He is still alive. The police have indicated that the 3 shootings were not connected to one another. Mm-hmm. They were all isolated incidents. So they're investigating all 3 of them and searching for the shooters in all 3 of those.
I'm sure within the next day or so, we're going to probably get some information about the shooting that occurred here in South Bridge. I noticed on last Tuesday there was a heavy presence of police right near the church, right in this area. And sometimes they're doing drug busts, but I think this was something different because it was a different squad of type of police officers. But it looked like they're aggressively trying to solve them. But that's 3 shootings in a weekend, or almost. It's kind of scary.
It is, and especially at the times that they took place. They weren't late at night. They were during the daytime, late evening, when people are still out and about as well, too. Yeah,
and while they're not connected, are there any indicators that there's a reason for some of these shootings?
No, not at this time.
There's no reason. Okay. Well, we're going to wait and see what kind of outcomes that comes out of it. There was something else that happened that really caught my attention just on Thursday or Wednesday. The police department decided to charge a 13-year-old with I guess they call it attempted murder at this point, because people don't know how explosive these firecrackers and things are, for trying to really for doing some deviant things with those firecrackers. A 13-year-old. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So on July 3rd, around 10:30 p.m., there was two individuals, a 31-year-old man and a 53-year-old woman, who were assaulted with fireworks, including a Roman candle. That's the one that you spin around and then you can shoot it in different directions, by multiple juveniles. The woman was taken to the hospital, and she was treated and later released, treated for some burns on her skin and everything. The 31-year-old man, he was hospitalized in critical condition. His back, there was a firework pit in his back pocket.
Oh, wow.
And again, what people need to understand is that these fireworks are explosives.
Yeah.
Even the sparklers that people love giving to their kids burn at an insanely hot rate, right? It can cause extreme damage if it hits the skin. So he was in critical condition, has to had multiple surgeries at this point, to try to save, his back there.
Was it the buttocks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Again, through investigation, on July 22nd, which is about 19 days later, they were able to identify a 13-year-old as one of the people responsible, and because it is a juvenile, the name wasn't released, but he is being charged. He was arrested in the 600 block of East 10th Street, over East Side, and he's facing attempted murder, weapon and conspiracy charges. He, again, is going to have to go through a long process. But because the severity of the young man, the 31-year-old man's injuries, that's probably why they're pinning it at attempted murder.
And I'm sitting here thinking, we brought up two things. You brought up a female against female violence, which is untraditional, and then you talk about a 13-year-old. This person is just coming just coming into teenage years. What could be in their mind? I know I sometimes ask you questions like you, the psychologist, but I'm just trying to make some sense of it. 13-year-old, he walks up to somebody and just put it in their back pocket. Does he light it after he put it in, or is it already lit and he just drop it in?
It was probably already lit. And again, most consumer fireworks burn at anywhere between 1,200, which is 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. Y'all complain at 100 degrees Fahrenheit to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That is extremely hot.
Yes.
It causes a lot of damage, can kill nerves and everything.
And then the impact of it's exploding.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're in the chemicals in there and any metal. Honestly, I think these kids lack structure. My kid can do whatever, is what some of these parents tell their kids. A 13-year-old should not be unsupervised with fireworks. A 13-year-old probably shouldn't even have access
that's what I was gonna say.
To fireworks,
Right.
but let alone be unsupervised with them. But again, you have parents who are just buying things and giving it to their kids without teaching them the proper way how to use things. It's the same thing. I know this has nothing to do with fireworks, but it's the same thing with these motorized scooters that we're seeing, right? You're seeing a lot of teenagers and young kids riding through neighborhoods on the same streets as cars, going the wrong way, going through red lights, stop signs, and everything. We've seen kids get hit already throughout the city, and I fear people won't wake up until, unfortunately, someone gets killed, which I don't want to see.
Yeah, and I'm trying my best to wrap my head around a 13-year-old young boy whose life has not started, has now ended his life. While he won't probably get the same sentence as an adult would get, but think about the years when he should be developing, becoming. He's going to be in prison in some juvenile detention. And I think that, at some point, ownership of parents do have to play a role. And because we don't have any rules or laws to kind of push that, and people will fight against that because they feel like they can't tell their children anything. I remember I was talking to a parent a couple of weeks ago, and they were telling me, well, the child is not 18 years old, so I can't put the child out. I said, but your child should not have to eat your food, live in your house, and do what they do. Put them in the hands of the authority.
Yeah.
And then I guarantee you, sometimes when you were growing up, did they have a program called Scared Straight?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That thing worked for me. I mean, it worked for me. Maybe it wouldn't work for the kids of this day.
So we actually, we used to have it here in the city of Wilmington, but the gentleman who kind of ran the program, he passed away, I believe, during the pandemic. So we haven't had it in the last few years.
Well, we need somebody to step up and bring it. But again, I'm just afraid that it won't scare these children, because when you've been free to do what you want to do, it becomes very, very difficult. And people don't understand, if we want to stay in poverty, we're going to keep allowing our kids to do what they want to do, because what's going to happen is they're going to figure out there's no rules in school, there's no rules in life, and they're going to do what they want to do. And when they do what they want to do, they're going to end up in the hands of the system. And when they end up in the hands of the system, it's going to be very, very difficult to get them out of it. It's really sad, and I'm just really shocked when I saw a 13-year-old now facing attempted murder charges. And I'm sure we're going to get more information on that as the weeks come closer. There's a lot of conversation. I've been out of the loop, and I'm going to be very honest with you and very transparent with you, but there's been a lot of conversation around the Skinner case.
Yes.
And one of the things that I'm starting to hear more and more is transparency on behalf of the police department, but it could be whoever. I'm trying to get an understanding. I did have a call into one of the attorneys, Crump, to be very honest with you, and he's been overwhelmed with all the cases that's going on right now. It's just to get an understanding of what are people saying when they're saying there's not transparency in this situation.
Yeah.
Can you help me a little bit with that?
Yeah, so there's a few things that people are saying, and it's going to continue to evolve, right? Let me take you back to when we had the shooting at the Wilmington Hospital.
Okay.
When that shooting happened, we had a full-out response.
Okay.
FBI, ATF, Wilmington Police, State Police, County Police, everyone came in, right? Later that night, council members were called, press release went out. We're having a press conference to talk about the details that we do know. The mayor spoke, the chief spoke, the other people involved spoke. Went, got updates throughout the night about where the investigation was. They were able to release the picture of who they were searching for, and that he was still at large, and go from there. Now go to the Kadir shooting. When Kadir was shot on June 25th, which is only a few weeks after the shooting, a NITSL, which is just an email alert, went out at like 4 in the morning stating that there was a police-involved shooting. A few hours later, the name of the individual who had died came out. No other updates. The community asked for transparency because in the statements made by both the mayor and the Wilmington Police, they stated he was waving a gun at a crowd. There was no mention of him running. There was no mention of him being shot in the back. So when the community started saying, no, he was running from a dog, and then you had people saying, oh, there was no dog. No, he wasn't shot in the back. And then it comes out that, 1, he was shot in the back. 2, there was a big dog, pit bull, chasing him at the time. And when the officers pulled up, both the officers, there's a big dog right there, right in front of them. The one officer in the passenger seat is riding with his arm out the window, with his gun out the window. Another officer, the one who was the shooter, was the driver, jumps out, and within 10 seconds, he's firing shots. Everything that the community was saying ended up being true. There was a dog. He was running away. He probably didn't even hear the commands to stop from the cops because he was running from a dog. And he was shot in the back. There was no large crowd until after he was shot. There is still yet to be any videos or anything, and you see the videos from the community showing that there wasn't a large crowd there. EMS was on standby by the shooting after it took place, but was never allowed in. So the police are trying to justify why they had to take him in the police car. Even after he was shot, no medical aid was rendered. This is what the community was saying, but there was the cops and the mayor have just said, oh, well, he had a gun. Well, no, he did not have a gun at that point. At the point that you put the handcuffs on someone, they become our responsibility.
Okay.
So regardless, even if he did, it was not in his hands at that time. You had a young boy bleeding out, and you did not render aid.
Now, when the community is saying, we want transparency, I heard you give the whole list. What the community is saying, if it is not what have been stated by the public,
right?
Why haven't someone come out and said, these are the facts? Let me just set it up for you. Are there those who should be sharing saying the investigation is still going on?
No, you can say more than that.
Okay.
And last week, the body-worn camera footage was released.
Okay, I
thanks to Attorney General Kathy Jennings. I just want to state that Mayor John Carney had the ability to release it, and he chose not to. He has seen the video and chose not to. He wanted to keep it a secret. The Attorney General released it for the public, and released 3 different officer angles. The mayor should have at least come out and given a press conference, directly speaking, not some graphic that you post on social media, but actually talk to the community that he's supposed to be representing, because people are very upset. 2, the video should have been released in a more timely manner. And I understand the AG side of it, they have to go through certain legal hoops. But the video should have been released in a timely manner.
So now that the AG has released it, then does that mean the AG has the facts or the investigative information they need in order to continue their investigation so they can release certain things?
Yeah, I mean, they redacted faces and everything. I think one of the things that they have to finish up is their use of force report, which is standard in police involved shootings. She has to, take witness statements and everything, but also we still have Leah Board, right, which is the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights, what we started this show talking about.
You got that right, yeah.
What they passed back in 2023, I believe, 2024, did not change anything with the different levels of protections that officers get when shootings like this happen. This, again, I don't bite my tongue. This has led to many of the legislators down in Dover being very upset with me. The officer still was not interviewed right away. The officer was not charged with murder. If I, as an individual on the street, was to gun someone down, and the cops had it on video, and they knew exactly where I was, they would have a signed warrant and charges and arrest me and have me locked up. I would not get to stay home on vacation from my job, getting my full pay, just can't make overtime right now, while I get to watch TV and do whatever else. And that is the issue.
Okay, right. So what I was trying to make sure, the issue is, it's facts out there that can be shared.
Yes.
But they are not being shared by authorities.
Correct.
So what the community is asking for is that we begin to hear the facts. What happened? What went on? If it's different than what the community is saying, present them, share it. And you also believe, or not say you, but the community also believes that they want to hear from the authorities
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I saw how you kind of laid everything out, and I think that what that does is open the door. Because I was under the assumption that while we're investigating something, we should not do too much talking about it.
Right.
Because we got to make sure that you don't change this statement, you don't change that statement. This person doesn't do this, that person doesn't do the other. But if the Attorney General says, "Okay, I'm going to release it," then that means the person who's the investigator, or is she? Now, is there internal police investigation going on as well?
There is, yeah.
So are they saying the reason why they're not releasing things is because we're still investigating certain things?
It is. They never release anything. It's an internal investigation, and because of Leah Board, it's very strict what they can release, and most of it can't even police accountability boards can't even get that information.
If they break Leah Board, what is the punitive measures? If to say the police department, because I remember
break the policy
of Leo, because I remember I think Dennis Williams broke it once or twice himself. But what is the policy then? What is the legalities?
Nothing, right? They won't be charged, and we've seen it, right? We've seen it time and time again that the policies and procedures have been broken. We saw it in the Lamont Moses case where the independent...
No. That's not my question. My question is if the mayor's office decide to say, okay, I know Leah Boyd says this, but you know what? I got a constituency I got to report.
Then the officer can sue the city.
Can sue the city?
Yes.
So let's say the officers sue the city for $3 million, $4 million. I don't know how much it would be. Is that worth sharing so that the public can trust you?
I think it is, but others would think that's irresponsible.
Okay. I think in order for both communities to come together, there has to be some dialogue. Because what I'm hearing now, even though I don't think anybody changed the sermon that he was murdered and all that stuff. I don't think nobody changed that sermon. I think what people are saying, if the policy says this and this happened, then how come no one has come out to share the policy, what happened, opinions, whatever? And I think that's what's happening now. And we're going to get more information, but this is not going away. There's some things planned. I think it's for August the 24th.
August the 24th, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So they are calling Reverend Barber from the Repairers of the Breach and Dr. Bland are calling for a mass rally for justice for Kadir. And a part of that is they want the community to come out and really be educated on it. But leading up to it, they want 21 days of action from the faith community and from community leaders as well to bring into the forefront Kadir's story and that we want this case handled the proper way. One of the things with that is making sure that we're keeping pressure up and keeping his story in the media as well too, because once the media is on your side, it does help.
Okay, so do you think the family will be pursuing criminal or civil? So
criminal is on the Attorney General to prosecute.
Okay.
Civil, yes, they have already sent a letter of intent to file a civil claim in the total of $25 million.
Okay.
Now, will it be $25 million? Who knows? It has to go through court. What court will they file in? I can predict. I think it will probably be federal court, not state court, but who knows with the attorneys. But I will say, with trying to keep this in the media, you will have the people in power try to put other things out there to distract people, things that they've sat on for a very long time, to try to excite the community. Oh, look, we're doing good, we're doing good. And that's just not how what people are seeing.
Well, I think as the weeks go and we move forward, like I said, we're going to need to know more information about the 24th event so that people can do what they need to do. Now, are we still having the, what do we call it, the, every year we have it?
August Quarterly.
August Quarterly.
As far as I know, yes.
And is that week or is the week after that?
I believe it is that week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna see how it all turned out. We have more to talk to report as well as to talk about, because I'm now getting a better understanding of of the silence and you know, the transparency that this community is really asking for. And there's some, you know, I've been out of the loop. I'm getting in the loop now, and I'm beginning to understand things a little bit better as we move forward. And I do want to make sure I did read the policy that was on the website, but I think even if that policy is the policy, there's an explanation that the community, I think, is asking. We need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what's going to help us. The last thing I want to bring to our attention, or just have a little conversation on, is that Wilmington is introducing a rent escrow program. And I kind of like this policy. As a landlord, you know, if I'm crooked, I ain't gonna like it.
Right.
But as a landlord who's really trying to help curb some of this unhoused people and really produce good quality products, I think this is good. Now, is this something that was passed? Is this something that was passed by the city council, or this came out of the mayor's budget?
No, this is something that was passed by Wilmington City Council months ago.
Okay.
And this is one of the things that was sat on. Again, we passed this back in 2025.
Oh.
It is now July of 2026. We've had the MOU with First State Community Action. It's just the mayor's office waited till now to promote it. I wonder why. I wonder why. But I am glad that it is up and running, has been. And again, this is for tenants, how it works. A tenant can make a complaint to L&I for issues such as lack of heat, lack of hot water, lack of electric, and can withhold their rent for a certain amount of time if found valid. The landlord will be notified and will have 48 hours to rectify the issue. If not, if it's not rectified in those 48 hours, then you can withhold your rent in a rent escrow account that's going to be housed in the First State Community Action Agency. They will hold those accounts, so you would go to their office and do the voluntary rent escrow program. It just gives renters a fair process to get essential repairs, and then if it's not being made, be able to get your money back so that you can go put a down payment down, or not down payment, but security deposit down somewhere else.
So it benefits the tenant who probably have been left out for dry many times.
Yeah.
If my rent is due on August the 1st, I have no hot water. I go to the city and I say, listen, there's no hot water in my apartment. Here is my. Do I do it at that point, or do we give them an opportunity, or do we give them an opportunity to do we give them an opportunity? See, like my phone is just blowing up, but it gives them an opportunity to get it fixed in 48 hours.
Yes.
If they don't, when do they give their rent to the city?
Whenever, so they'll go ahead and set up the account after the 48 hours.
Okay.
And then whenever your rent is due, which is usually the first, you would go ahead and put it into that account. So you are still paying your rent. The landlord just doesn't get access to it until after they rectify the issue.
Okay, understood. All right. Well, I think this is going to be a good policy. It's going to get on the nerves of some slumlords. Your favorite friend probably. Well, he's not in it anymore.
He's not in it no more.
You got him out of business. He's going to get you. But I do think this is going to be a great policy that's going to help if the city does what it needs to do.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Today, we face a relentless opponent, but we will not back down. We will dig deep. We will push ourselves harder than ever before. We will train. We will study our opponent. We will come together as a team. No matter the obstacles, the challenges, or the amount of hard work it will take, we will not stop. Because finding a cure for breast cancer is our end game. Lifetime proudly supports the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Lifetime is the official broadcaster of the National Women's Soccer League.
Smiles are powerful. A simple smile can light up a whole room. And for 25 years, Smile Train has been lighting up the world with smiles. And each smile marks a step towards a brighter future. As the world's largest cleft lip and palate charity, Smile Train has supported more than 2 million life-changing cleft surgeries in over 90 countries, leaving a legacy of resilience, joy, and beaming smiles for generations of children. To learn more about cleft lips and palates and how Smile Train is supporting the cleft community all over the world, please visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, lighting up the world with smiles for 25 years.
And we're back. Coby, what's going on with the Coby Corner this week?
Yeah, so I want to talk about a few things. One, I'll talk about first is Senator Lindsey Graham passed away last week.
Yeah.
Apparently, he and his family has had a lot of heart issues throughout their life. His dad, his granddad, and everything. He passed away after an interview, and then he went home. Before the interview, he was saying he was having some chest pains, but decided to wait to do the interview, and then passed out. They rushed him to the hospital, and he later passed away at the age of 71. Lindsey Graham was a U.S. Senator from South Carolina. He replaced the racist Storm Thurmond, who used to hold the longest filibuster because he was filibustering the Civil Rights Act. He has since been replaced by his sister. He passed away on a Friday, and by that Monday, his sister was sworn into a seat after Trump gave his blessing to appoint her, which is very interesting because we had Democratic special election winners not be sworn in for 50 and 55 days because there was no rush to get them sworn in. Prior to him being a U.S. Senator, he represented the South Carolina 3rd District from 1995 to 2003, and then from 2003 to 2026, at the time of his passing, he was a U.S. Senator. This is very interesting because at the same time, people were trying to figure out if Mitch McConnell is still alive or not. Mitch McConnell has not been seen since June 16th. The update that his office has put out has been AI images, and includes his wife in the picture as well too, who is well documented to be back in China right now. She has stated she is not coming back to the United States of America.
And thank you for saying that because I'm trying to figure out when they showed the picture of her loving by his bedside, how could that be so true? And she was in China. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
It has either elevated to the fact where you have U.S. Republican senators questioning it, including Ron Johnson, Todd Young, and some of the other U.S. senators about the true what is going on with Mitch McConnell. If you see the last picture of him in the Senate prior to him passing away, you even see his face is, more wrinkly and everything than in this picture that is clearly AI altered, using a shirt from a vacation almost 8 years ago of him and his wife. The governor of Kentucky is a Democrat, and he has sent an official notice to the McConnell family and staff asking for proof of life. If he doesn't get it, he is thinking about going forward with taking steps of replacing Mitch McConnell.
And who's doing it?
The governor, Annie Brashear.
Wait a minute, the governor doesn't even. Wait a minute. What? First of all,
yes.
Let me. For those of you, and I love Jay Street because he would do this to us. We get so into what we're saying that we think the people who are listening to us know what we're talking about.
Yes.
All right. First, the governor is a Democrat or a Republican?
He's a Democrat.
Okay. Let's make sure the people understand why you're leading to how you're leading. We have no proof that Mitch McConnell is living.
Correct.
We got allegedly an AI whatever of him being in the hospital with his wife by his side, get ready to be released, and the wife is in China.
Correct.
Then we say, okay, the governor of the state has no proof that he's still alive.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Who's a Democrat? Go ahead.
Who's a Democrat. And the Republican-controlled General Assembly there has changed the rules, saying that they get to appoint the senator if the senator vacates the seat for some reason, death, resignation, or whatsoever, which is unconstitutional. It's always been the governor. Right. So we will see what Andy Brashear does in this moment. I think the deadline is approaching at the end of the month, and then he will take action if he is serious about what he put in that letter. So it's a waiting game, but this would not be uncommon if this is how Mitch McConnell has gone out, holding on to a seat that is no longer his, just like he did when he stole 2 U.S. Supreme Court justice seats, one where he held out for over a year under the Obama administration, saying that, oh, well, because we're going to be electing a president in 2016, we can't appoint someone in 2015 like a duly elected president has the power to do. But then when Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, with less than 46 days until the election, Donald Trump appointed Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court, thanks to Mitch McConnell's leadership. So again,
that could be what a man sow he reaps, because in this case, but let's just back up a little bit, Coby, because you said something that was really interesting. So the legislators, who is majority is Republican, immediately they changed the rule. When did they change this rule?
They changed it the first time McConnell went in the hospital earlier this year.
Now, is it law?
It is law. Well, they passed it. The governor vetoed it. They haven't overridden it yet.
How long ago did he veto it?
Back in February.
Do they have enough votes to be able to?
They do, yeah, but they haven't yet, which is interesting as well too. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it, how it will move forward, and see what will come of it. But I truly believe that Mitch McConnell's staff is lying to the public, and if they are, they should be held accountable for their actions as well too.
Yeah, but because we live in such a partisan society right now, I'm not too sure if anybody holds anybody accountable on the same side that they're on, and I just wish we can get to a place where we can have some integrity in this whole process. But we'll see.
Next, Republicans in North Carolina are taking moves to reduce on-site college voting and Sunday voting in North Carolina. And people may say, oh, why is that? Why should I care here in Delaware? Well, because this is just another tool that they're using to try to suppress our vote. And what it has done has created chatter for others in other states to start to use that same mantra. Now, we have early voting here in Delaware. We just got it a few years ago. And Sunday voting, you always see a spike, right? You see people who are leaving church, places of worship, have free time, right? It's Sunday, right? Who are going to vote, get in, get out. College voting is also critical, especially when you look at what colleges they're targeting. They're not targeting the conservative colleges. They're targeting their biggest target right now. They want to take all the sites away from the area and make it almost a 5-mile radius of no voting sites at North Carolina AT&T, where my oldest goddaughter is, right? And I've been texting her back and forth. Her and her friends are down there organizing. They've been in the courtrooms. They've been in the local commission meetings and everything, organizing the kids on campus, trying to fight to say, hey, it's not fair that y'all are doing that for us, knowing that there's no direct bus route to the next closest voting site, and most of the kids down there, students down there, not kids, sorry, do not have transportation to get to, it's like 7 miles out from campus to be able to go vote. So you're trying to take away thousands of people's right to vote. Not only the students who are registered down there, but also the community members and staffers who live in the area as well too. So again, you have groups who are saying they're going to challenge, like Black Voters Matter, the NAACP, the Urban League, who are going to challenge this in court. But again, it may not be in time for the 2026 elections.
For them to execute or for them to challenge it?
They're going to challenge it, but it may not be heard until after the election.
So is it law now?
It is.
Oh, wow.
So again, in 2024, when they still had their majorities, super majority in both chambers, the Republican, even though they had a Democratic governor, they changed the rules so that the incoming governor, who's a Democrat, and the Democrats who were coming in who broke the supermajority, they didn't flip the chambers, but they broke the supermajorities. They couldn't change the rules without getting Republican support. So therefore, the governor has no power in the say here. They gave it back to the counties and the state auditor. So.
This is really sad how they're doing everything in their power. And that's one of the reasons why Trump often say that the Democrats cheat, because he is a certified bona fide cheater.
Absolutely.
And he's making sure that people do what they got to do.
Absolutely. One other point I wanted to definitely make sure I made is with the reassessment. There has been a lot of chatter about what is going on. So I wanted to break it down real quick. So there was a bill, Senate Bill 228, and what it did was it created a quality control review of non-residential properties, commercial properties, to ensure the accuracy of the assessment. What they have found, right, in 50 commercial properties in Newcastle County was chosen at random. One of these properties was the Amazon Boxwood plant. It was assessed at $108 million. It has since been corrected to its true value of $372 million, which is a 245% increase on their taxes. Why does that matter? That means when you do a net revenue neutral, right? It means if that commercial site was assessed at a lower rate, that means residential had to pay more. Right. But now that they're going to pay 250% more, that brings residential down a little. Now let's come to the city of Wilmington, one of my favorite places to talk about, 801 North Orange Street, the amazing, beautiful press built by Bacini Pollen that, all the mayor and some of my council colleagues was at their ribbon cutting after they got a tax abatement, after they get all these tax incentives and get handed money, taxpayer dollars all the time from everywhere, down payment, downtown development district, all that, right? Their property, a 295 unit property that they only have to pay pay rental unit fees on the first 50, thanks to Maria Cabrera. All the rest they don't have to pay on, they were assessed at $344,000. More than most houses.
Right.
More than most houses. Their corrected value is $61 million. Let me just correct the record there.
Yeah.
It went from $344,000 to its corrected value of $61 million in taxes that they $1 million in assessed value. That means their taxes were down here,
Right.
and now it's coming up here, which means our residential prices are going to come down. So let me just say this to every senior council member who told Councilwoman Christian Wilhauer, Councilman Hackett, and myself to stop complaining, to stop making noise. People really aren't going to care about this. When we brought this up in 2025, in February 2025, through the budget cycle, when we didn't vote for the split rate because we knew it was wrong, and we knew we were justifying a system that was built off of broken data, how do y'all feel now? That's less money for Bacini Pollen to donate to y'all. We were told by Councilman Spadola, who he took it a step further. He said, stop B-wording.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Right? Stop B-wording.
Yeah, I remember that.
Put your big boy pants on and be adults.
Yeah.
Well, we were. We did our job. You was too busy flipping parties to try to run for mayor to actually get something done for the people. But I'm glad you got a mural done. But their taxes increased it increased 17,634%.
Wow. Now, how we used to do on the show, we don't do it no more because we nice. When Jay was here, we would call people out. And at some point, I think when you talk about the senior leadership, it's really sad because that was the group that really made sure you youngins understood we run everything here. But it seemed like the research is done by the youngins.
Yeah.
Or it could have been done by the seniors, but the seniors did not want that to be out there based on what you're saying. Maybe their gifts for their campaigns would not be as large. That's a lot of reassessment.
Yes. And that's just one property.
Oh my
That's
God.
just one of their properties.
And you made a comment because we just said, I didn't know we had to get a license. I guess somebody was watching our show and heard that we have our property open. So I get this violation in the mail that I am operating apartments illegal. And I immediately call and say, how is that so? Because I got a business license in Wilmington. And it's because you got to get a specific one for rental. And we had to pay for all 10 of our units. And I see how much money that cost me. For somebody to vote that the big shots only have to pay 50, that's sorrowful.
That's 245 units that they don't have to pay that price for.
Wow.
And that was thanks to Councilwoman Maria Cabrera, who after that bill was passed, if you look at the record, her son was hired by Bacini Pollen. So,
oh Lord,
again,
we're gonna get in trouble. Keep doing things like that.
I mean, it's all about transparency when it comes to them. They want to demonize us, but yet, once they have a few drinks, they tell everyone their backstory. So again, this is what we're dealing with here. And again, this is nothing personal against Bacini Pollen. Honestly, it's smart business on their end, right? Why pay more if you don't have to? If you don't have anyone enforcing you to have to pay more, they're not elected by the public. We are. So, again, it was a 17,000% increase in their taxes, and I'm sure other buildings will be going up as well too.
Wow, this is really sad and interesting, but I don't know. I know we kind of like running out of time, Coby, but I do want to hear what you wanted to talk about with Noel.
Yes.
I think that's something that we do need to hear.
I think we could talk about that next show as more details come out. I really want to take some time to break down that second independent autopsy that
I think Trump did a good job with trying to say certain things and them not having certain things intact. I just don't trust the system out there. And my heart was broken when I heard his mother speaking. It's just so much going on in those elements, and we just got to be careful. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the midterms because I think Trump is on high gear and cheating to try to make sure he hold on to that house. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Join us live for our weekly worship. Facebook and YouTube.
I'm doing the best I can, but I still gotta have a little Chardonnay, and I still gotta have a little this, and I gotta still sneak around. The devil is a liar. That's an excuse.
Wilmington's most exciting church.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. From day one, they've treated me like family at my local care center. MDA is the only one that funds over 150 care centers across the U.S. to help provide state-of-the-art care for adults and kids like me.
MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. They fund the research for breakthrough treatments, care, and cures. And MDA provides support to thousands of families like mine and Ethan's in communities like yours. Thanks to MDA, kids and adults can live life to its fullest. Join us and learn more at mda.org today.
And we're back. Well, it's time for the midterms. Coby, what in the world is going on? Trump doesn't want to lose, so he's doing everything in his power. You have already talked about several things. But before we get into it, this Mitch thing I'm not letting it go. Is he alive or not? Could you get in your mobile and get down there to see?
You know, I wish I could. But honestly, I think his body's in the morgue.
Oh, wow.
Because I, based upon what I saw from the video of his neighbors, when they took him out of the house, they did not take him out on a regular stretcher. They had the body bag around him. His feet did not look like they were moving at all. Now, his staff, medical officials won't say anything because of HIPAA. His staff has said, oh, the only reason they had to use that was to get him on a stretcher because he was immobile because he had tripped and fell. I truly believe that they are trying to hold off on this seat because they're trying to hold as many Republican votes as possible. And I can't prove it right now, but I truly believe this is at the behest of Donald Trump. And this would not be unusual for him. He is so hyper fixated on the fact that he needs to hold his control right now, whether it's in the House, going down to Texas saying, hey, I need y'all to redistrict. Not because voter suppression, but because I need to hold these seats. And then it triggered Indiana, it triggered Missouri, it triggered North Carolina, it triggered Florida, it triggered all these other states to do the same thing. And the federal court, the Supreme Court, came back and said, yep, y'all can do it. Then when Democratic states did it, they said, whoa, what you doing there? Virginia, you can't do that. You can't. That's not fair. Excuse me?
Right. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Right. So these elections, and I know people have joked, oh, well, we don't even know we're going to have a democracy come 2028. Honestly, I really don't know at this point. Because if he's doing this just for the midterm and he's not on the ballot, the White House isn't on the ballot, I don't know what he's going to do in 2028 when he wants his people to hold power. Now, Donald Trump, in his first year, 2025, he made more money than any of the last 18 presidencies put together, including his first one for 4 years. All of them put together, he made more money in 1 year. He is literally selling the White House out. He's having billionaires help him build this grand ballroom for safety purposes. Now, after he gets shot at, again, when it kind of stalled out and people stopped giving money and he wasn't going to get the money from the congressional, conveniently there was a shooting at the White House press dinner, right? He is actively working to get his loyalists in these seats, whether it's in South Carolina, Louisiana, Texas. But it also opens the door for Democrats, right? Because of Ken Paxton being on the ballot in Texas, James Tellerico has a tremendous opportunity to potentially flip Texas. And hopefully in the next few days, we see a unity endorsement coming soon to bring the full Democratic Party back together to work to defeat Ken Paxton.
Because y'all doing a lot of fighting right now. And
Oh,
scary.
yeah.
It's scary because we just don't know how to let the left wing of the party do what it wants to do. Let the right wing of of the party do. People need to just stop being because we let the Republicans label the Democrats based on what is not popular. If in New York it works, let them do that. Okay.
Yes.
If in Texas something else works, go that route.
Yep.
We don't have to be. We're not monolithic. We got to be all one thing. And I think that's what's really killing us, and we be fighting that way.
When we look at the main race, Grant Planter is off the ballot, has been replaced by a former state senator who came in third for the governor primary, Troy Jackson. And there's energy around there. Hopefully he can keep that momentum going to defeat Susan Collins. Democrats are in a good position in North Carolina with Rory Cooper. They're in a good position in Ohio with Sherrod Brown. Things are looking a lot better in Alaska with Mary Petrola. If we can flip those 4 seats, we flip the Senate. If we add in Iowa, if we add in Texas, if we add in competitive seats, you get even more votes. Now, the one downside is if we get to the 50-50 split, there's a senator who ran as an unapologetic progressive, had a stroke, and now has become one of the more conservative members of the U.S. Senate on the Democratic side, and that's John Fetterman.
Right.
There is rumors that he will flip to Republican to keep them in power, and they are promising him, John Thune, the majority leader for the Republicans, has promised him so many committee positions, chairships, the gavels.
So it's about him.
It's about him and not the
represent.
people of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So we will see how this all goes.
How much time he has left?
He's up in 2028.
I don't think he would do that.
He's up in 2028.
Yeah.
He's not winning the Democratic nomination.
How much, and that's probably why he's doing it then. How much time does Mitch McConnell have left?
Mitch McConnell terms expires at the end of this year.
Oh, so even if they put a Democrat in there, it's going to be done in the end of this year.
And that Democrat should be Charles Booker, a black man who's running for the nomination already. He's running against Andy Barr. So again, the Senate is in play. We need a Democrat to drop out of the race in Montana because the independent candidate there is running very strong. And if we're able to coalesce around them, they could potentially flip in Montana as well, too.
The independent?
The independent.
Will it be a Democratic leaning?
Yeah, we'll caucus with the Democrat. He has the backing of John Tester, the former Democratic senator out there. When you look at the House is still in play. I think at most you'll see like a 15-seat gain by the Democrats,
one seat is enough for me.
which is enough to flip the House there. But again, it will be very tight margins that they would have to work through. But I do believe that the House is still flippable at this point. And the Senate is still in play as well.
Yeah. The House is, I just want to make sure I keep my eye on that House.
Yes.
Because right now, you saying 15, I'm saying 1. I just want 1. That means we're in charge. That means we get to set the agenda. That means we get to say what we're going to investigate and things of that nature. And people got to understand that. I beg people, for those of you who watch us, please call your relatives all across the country.
Yes.
Tell them vote. Coby made a comment about, we don't know whether or not we'll have a democracy in 2028. America is strong. We've been through a lot of tough times. We've been through a Donald Trump before. Yes, he's been able to get in and be focused on the things that he wants to hurt us with. But what we got to do is we got to vote him out by making sure we flip the Senate, make sure we flip the House. And when he comes with his shenanigans, if the Democrats already have the House and the Democrats already have the Senate, it's not going to be much he can do to be able to take away our democracy. They will have some control too, and they're not afraid of him. And we understand that he got the Supreme Court. while he's going through his lawsuit, he got to leave the White House. And I think that's what's going to be important. I think that's what happened kind of like when he lost the last time. At first, he was not going to leave, but because he had no other choice but to leave, he left.
Yes.
So that's how it's going to be. It's been a sad day. We got some things we're going to have to follow up on. We got some things we're going to be looking at. But right now, we're in a bad situation. Vote, vote, vote,
yes.
vote. That's going to be the key. I don't care whether it be school board election, vote, vote, vote. Because we found out that in every aspect, we are affected. And our cities, states are affected, and we hope that everything will get better for us. And I believe we're going to have a democracy.
Yes.
Anything else on your calendar, Coby?
That's all I have on my calendar.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching us. And as we always say, keep watching. I believe it's going to get better as time moves forward. Until the next time, may the Lord God bless you real good.
Take care, y'all.
You've been watching The Source with host Dr. C.T. Curry and co-host Coby Owens. Tune in every Sunday at 5 p.m. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest episodes.